More than 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images. It's Jeffrey Epstein files.
At 2:17 a.m. in a silent prison cell, a man who knew too much stopped breathing. But Jeffrey Epstein didn't take the truth with him. He left behind files, names, flights, photos, whispers, and scars that still bleed today. And the most terrifying part? The story didn't end with his death. That was only the beginning. The Epstein file is not just a collection of documents. It's a graveyard of unanswered questions, a paper trail of power, money, and silence, so loud that the world pretended not to hear it. Jeffrey Epstein was not a king. He was a gatekeeper. He moved quietly among the powerful, politicians, billionaires, celebrities, royalty. He owned private jets, private islands, private secrets, and he built a world where young girls were treated like currency. For years, rumors floated through courtrooms and tabloids like smoke. Then came lawsuits, then testimonies, then sealed documents, and then, finally, the files began to open. Inside them were flight logs, not opinions, not rumors. Cold, typed records showing who flew, when they flew, and how often they returned. Inside them were victim statements, words written by women who had once been children, girls who described the same rooms, the same routines, the same fear. They spoke of being told, "You're special." They spoke of being paid to stay quiet. They spoke of realizing, too late, that silence was the price of survival. But here's the part that shakes the soul. Many of those named in the files were never arrested, never charged, never even questioned publicly. Why? Because Epstein's greatest weapon wasn't money, it was access. He made powerful people feel untouchable. And when powerful people feel untouchable, justice becomes optional. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, the world held its breath. This was it, the moment when everything would come out. But instead, something unthinkable happened. Epstein died in federal custody. Cameras failed, guards slept, and the one man who could answer everything was suddenly gone. Officially, it was ruled a suicide. Unofficially, it became a global scar of distrust, because too many mistakes happened at once. And mistakes like that don't feel like accidents. After his death, the files didn't disappear. They waited. Years later, as documents slowly surfaced, the public learned a painful truth. The justice system moves fast for the powerless and painfully slow for the elite. Some names were redacted, some accusations labeled unverified, some stories buried under legal language so dry it drained the emotion from the pain. But pain doesn't vanish just because it's typed in black ink. The victims are still here, still living with memories they never asked for, still watching as the world debates names instead of listening to voices. And that may be the darkest lesson of the Epstein file. This wasn't just one predator. It was an ecosystem, a system where wealth built walls, influence erased consequences, and silence was rewarded. Every time a document is released, the same question returns. How many people knew and did nothing? The Epstein file is uncomfortable because it doesn't offer closure. There is no neat ending, no final courtroom scene, no moment where justice walks in wearing a cape. Instead, there is only responsibility. Responsibility to remember. Responsibility to question power. Responsibility to believe victims, even when the truth threatens people we're told to admire. Because the real danger isn't what Epstein did, it's what the world allowed. And until the last file is open, until the last voice is heard, until power no longer protects predators, this story isn't over. It's watching. The Epstein file isn't about the past. It's about how easily the future can repeat itself if we look away.